Hi folks. So our next presenters, we get very good value for money with our next presentation because we get two of them. So we get David Grubbs and Lara Spieker, and they are editors and senior editors at CRC Press. And CRC Press have sort of put together some of the most important statistics books in the past few years. And one of the distinguishing features for me of CRC Press books is that they are often available freely online, in addition, of course, to the printed version. And so David and Lara is going to take us through the process of how you could publish your book with Chapman and Hall CRC. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having us. We're very excited to be here. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. And yeah, we'll get started straight away.
Okay, so my name's David Grubbs. I'm a senior editor in statistics and data science at Chapman and Hall.
And yeah, I'm Lara. I'm an editor for statistics and data science, also at Chapman and Hall. Now let David take.
Okay, so
next slide.
Who is Chapman and Hall CRC? Chapman and Hall is an imprint of CRC Press, and we specialize in mathematics, statistics, and computer science. We publish 150 new statistics and computer science books each year, and have over 3,000 titles in the backlist. We're internationally renowned, especially in statistics and data science. The cornerstones are our green and red series, which are our monograph and textbook series. We've got biostatistics, which is a big focus, but a lot of the trailblazing work that's being done can be found in our data machine learning series. One of the reasons we're especially keen to come and speak to you guys is that we know you guys love R, and we also want to increase, the number of titles that we're publishing. So we look forward to speaking to you about more about the process. So take a quick look at some of our book series.
Yeah, as David has mentioned, we have a number of them, and we'll highlight two that we think are probably of particular interest to everyone in the audience, so we hope. I'm going to talk a little bit about our data science series. It's our newest series, but it's rapidly growing. As you can see, much like data science itself, it's incredibly interdisciplinary. It covers topics that sort of bridge statistics, computer science, and machine learning. And it's basically for everyone: researchers, practitioners, instructors. All those books can find a home in the data science series. It's for research, for industry applications, as well as textbooks. It's heavily focused on the use of software for data science, like David mentioned, such as R, Python, and Julia. It covers both introductory and advanced materials for students, as well as professionals, and is assuming minimal theoretical background. And you can see some of the more recent titles on the slide here. And yeah, we expect it to grow a lot in the recent years. And yeah, you can find more information about the data science series and all the other series on our website as well. And if you have any ideas for a series title, please reach out as well to us.
Yeah, and I don't want to spill the beans too early, Rohan, but that's where your book will be. So.
The big reveal. So.
Big reveal, yeah. So anyway, okay, so the next series is the R series, which is a little bit more established. It highlights various aspects of R. We've got over 56 published titles, including textbooks. We do 5 to 10 new books each year. And the series editors are Hadley Wickham, John Chambers, Torsten Hothorn, and Duncan Temple Lane. So I'm sure you guys have all seen some of these. So just moving on, here's some of the reasons to publish a book. They're pretty self-explanatory, so I won't read the slide off. But yeah, so why you might want to publish a book.
So if the last slide was appealing to you and you think, oh, maybe I have something or I have an idea or I've been thinking about it for a while, the next step is you want to think a little bit more about shaping your ideas into something you can work with. So obviously the first point is clearly, what's the book about? What's the topic? what you want to cover, and sort of following on from that is like, who do you want the book to be for? Like I mentioned, for the data science series, there's obviously different audiences for different titles. Some books may be speaking to different audiences, but whoever you want the book to be for, you should know, because then you can pitch the book at the right level. And sort of in tandem with that is like, is there a market for the book? Who would want to read it? Is it sufficiently different from other books? Do I bring enough of a different viewpoint to the table? And again, with most books, it's not that you have to reinvent the wheel necessarily, but if you bring a fresh viewpoint or fresh ideas to the table, that's always what we're keen to see. But don't be put off by thinking, oh my God, there's already a book on this topic, I could never touch it. So I think that's something that's important to highlight as well. And we're obviously always keen to hear about your ideas. And yeah, and then there's some other things you want to think about, like, does my book need a website? Does it need solutions? Will I include exercises? Are there data sets I want to include? All sorts of this stuff. And now David is going to talk a little bit more in detail about what the process actually entails, if this is piquing your interest.
Yeah, and I should just throw in that, probably anyone who is at this conference is probably qualified to write a book. You don't have to be Hadley Wickham in order to write a book. We really welcome proposals from anyone who's working in the R data science space. So I wanted to go over the publishing process. We've got this nice little flow chart. It's somewhat involved, so if you need to stop me or you have any questions, please do. We basically get two types of proposals: those where the manuscript's already partially written, or those where the author just has the idea and they send us a proposal form. The process is pretty much the same. The first step is to talk with the commissioning editor to shape your ideas. We'll talk about that in the next slide, and to see if your topic is of interest to us. Then you want to put together a book proposal. Basically, it consists of filling out a questionnaire that we provide, as well as providing a draft table of contents. Sample chapters are welcome but not required. Your editor will then send their proposal to peer reviewers, as well as possibly the series editors, to get reviews. This process takes a few weeks. Unlike journal reviewers, we do pay our reviewers in the way of free books. So we get our reviews back much more quickly than journals do. So once we get your reviews back, we decide to either move forward and offer a contract, ask for modifications, or reject. Then you'll start to put together your book in consultation with your editor. General writing time is 1 to 2 1 to 2 years. And your commissioning editor will ask to see sample chapters, may do some reviewing of your chapters, as well as your final manuscript. And once you and your editor decide your book is ready, it's submitted to production. And production process takes about 5-6 months and includes copy editing, typesetting if necessary, choosing a cover, doing the marketing copy, writing chapter abstracts, etc. And during this time, your book's going to appear on Amazon and our website, and we'll start to get pre-orders. And the next step is publication. And once the book's out on the market, it can be purchased from all the usual outlets. It'll also be available as an ebook. Our book sales group then goes to work trying to sell copies around the world.
Yeah, and I'll talk a little bit more now about the first block of this process, which is preparing the proposal. And again, it ties in with lots of things that we already spoke about in terms of shaping your ideas. And this is sort of where you put pen to paper really and work through sort of a 2 to 3 page document, as David has mentioned, that we'll send to you, and sort of takes you through the main topics you want to cover, like what's the synopsis that you want the book to entail, what's the draft table of contents, what's your rationale, who's your audience going to be, again, what other books are out there, and anything else you'd want to include, and like how long do you think it will take, what format do you want to write in. And as David has said, you can always also work with the editor, and we're always happy to provide feedback and work with you closely as you write. the proposal, so we wouldn't leave you high and dry. And again, it's really about highlighting the idea of how you want the book to be, how your book is different, and why you think it needs to be written. So that's basically what the proposal is in sort of a nutshell.
Okay, we want to speak a minute about Bookdown books because it's become a really important part of our statistics and data science publishing. More and more frequently, we have authors who are working in Bookdown, and we fully support this. We have guidance from UAZ, who literally wrote the book on Bookdown. And he talks in the book about how to use Bookdown, how to publish a CRC book with Bookdown. So we give you LaTeX style files, and you're able to output the Bookdown into the LaTeX style files as a PDF. And what we do is we allow the author to keep the Bookdown version up for free, as long as proper is given, and then we publish parallel print and ebooks. And this way you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get the weight and validation of working with a commercial publisher, but you can stay true to the beliefs of our studio and the data science community in general about open science. And you will find that the majority of other academic publishers are not as open and flexible as we are about this.
And last but not least, I want to just quickly talk about if you are thinking about writing a book, why you should definitely consider going with us. As David has said, I think having the opportunity to keep your book on Bookdown is a big draw, and I think a big advantage, because like David said, you get the best of both worlds. We are one of the leading publishers in statistics and data science. We provide a lot of support in terms of peer review, one-on-one attention from one of the editors in the team, production support, help with copy editing, LaTeX help desk. We have international sales and marketing teams that work on selling and marketing the book. We have a rights team that works exclusively on trying to get the book translated. And last but not least, we're also really nice to work with. So you should definitely try it and come. But yeah, that's mostly it from us. But we're leaving our contact details up here. You can always find us on the CRC Press website as well. And yeah, we look forward to hearing from many of you. If any of you are interested, have any questions, please feel free to talk to us now or approach us later. If any of you are interested in reviewing, please also feel free to reach out, because we're also always looking for reviewers in our reviewer pool. So yeah, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Lara and David. And I guess I would just add two things. The first one is that Valentin, who presented 2 days ago. So Valentin, folks may remember from Wednesday, University of Essex. He talked about the large language models. Has just announced that you've offered him a contract for his book.
Yes, which I'm very excited about. So that's tied in nicely with this presentation as well. It's worked out really well timing wise.
Right. And the other thing is, so if folks have questions, feel free to raise your hand and I'll call on you, but I'll just get started. So with the proposal, what are some of like the common sort of mistakes? Like what are some strong proposals do that, like, you know, weaker proposals maybe don't do?
I think a strong proposal is very concise and very to the point. So if you can really summarize it in 2 to 3 pages, that's great. You don't need to go into sort of that much detail. If you're able to bring your idea across concisely, that's always a good start, I think. David, do you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that's really important in the proposal is that you distinguish yourself from other books. So if it's a book that's on a similar topic from other ones and there are competing books, it's really important in the proposal that you explain why your book is different than the other books that are on the market. Especially if we don't have any sample chapters or anything to go on. It's really important that, you know, I mean, if you're writing a data science textbook, and we already have some data science textbooks, that you talk about what the different angle is that you're going to take on it. So there needs to be some sort of sales hook, especially if it's a book that's on a topic that's already out there. So we really need to get the sense of what that kind of hook is, that different angle that that you're going for.
Are there any other comments or questions? The submission, it's available in the there's a link, I think, on the website, right? Do you want to maybe?
Yeah, I mean, you
put
can
it in the-
email.
Or do you prefer
the best
an
thing?
email?
Yeah, the best thing.
Yeah, the best thing is to email us, but you can find our contact details on the website as well. And I can, if you wanna if you prefer to have a link.
So, is anyone here considering writing a book? Given thought to it, have course.
Maybe we scared them away. Hopefully not.
Nick Radcliffe says possibly.
Nick, what would
Thank
you
you,
write?
Nick.
What would you write?
And Noreen loves that she would love to review some books.
Excellent. Just putting the link also in the chat.
Nick, what sort of book are you thinking about?
Well, probably one on all the sort of stuff I was talking about yesterday, last year, all this